Back in the day, an album rollout was treated like a moment in history. It wasn't just marketing an album, it was an unforgettable experience. The kind of shit you tell your kids in the future when you're thinking about the good old days, like, I remember way back when The Weeknd dropped After Hours. Oh my god, that was a moment in history. But recently, album rollouts just aren't like they used to be. And I say half the blame falls on social media, and the other half on artists just being too lazy to actually market their albums. And I figured given the Latto situation that's currently unfolding, yikes. I figured I'd talk about some modern day album rollouts and how I feel about them, plus point the finger at another big reason I feel like album rollouts are slowly dying. So grab some popcorn, grab your favorite album, and let's get started.
And my man, thank you to my man.
If I'm being completely honest, most of these female rappers look and/or sound the exact same to me. So from a visual and a lyrical perspective, Latto has always stood out to me in that aspect. Now, I've never been the biggest fan of her big mama, no kids, that's my man type aesthetic she has going for herself, but I can respect it. Or I should be saying I could respect it until recently. I think you already know what I'm talking about. Me personally, I don't think announcing her pregnancy with a single was a bad thing at all. I think it was a pretty smart marketing move. It got people's attention for sure. I mean, a lot of negative comments came from that attention, but it was still attention regardless. But see, this leads into one of the problems I have with modern day marketing for music. A lot of artists rely on shock factor to sell records, which isn't a bad thing. It's been done before. I mean, Eminem used to do that shit all the fucking time. But see, the thing with Eminem is that the music would back up the shock factor. It wasn't the shock factor making up for the lack of music like how most artists are nowadays. And I can't lie, Latto's marketing strategies definitely fall into that shock factor play. Let's do a quick rundown, shall we? She announced her latest album, Big Mama, with the single Business and Personal, which was accompanied by a music video which announced her pregnancy with 21 Savage. Then she dropped Get Out My Face with Glorilla, which is a pretty good song honestly, it's got a nice ring to it. And recently, while promoting this album, she posted a tweet saying that she was gonna retire after this album. You know how like some artists will say they're gonna retire after an album drops in order to boost sales for it? Yeah, that's basically what she did with this shit. See, the retirement play or the taking a break thing has been a thing for ages now in rap music. Jay-Z did it, you know, Drake almost did it before the beef happened, obviously. I can't think of any other rappers that did it, but if you know, you can put it in the comment section. But the point I'm trying to make is that yeah, retiring after dropping an album is nothing new in rap music. It happens all the fucking time. The thing with Latto retiring from rap is that she hasn't done that much to justify making a post like this. Like if you put a gun to someone's head and ask them to name one Latto album, just one, they'd probably ask you to put the bullet in their head. And I'm not knocking her music, okay? Most of her music is good in my opinion. I'm simply saying that she cannot justify making a post like this when she has done little to nothing mainstream wise. I mean, if Nicki Minaj were to make a tweet like this, people will go fucking bonkers over that shit. Well, not me. I don't fuck with Nicki like that these days, but a lot of people will go crazy over a tweet like that. Meanwhile, since Latto did this shit, most of the comments are clowning her for even making a tweet like this in the first place. And then a lot of comments were saying she's a bird for having a baby with 21 Savage of all people, which I can't lie, they have a point. Look, I'm not saying you have to get married before you have kids. Okay, that's your business. But having a baby with someone who's already married, like, that's fucking wild, dude. The same lady that said Big Mama no kids is having a kid with a married man. What the fuck are we doing, people? I'm not saying this album's gonna flop or anything, but if it gets less sales than it should have because of all this bullshit, I would not be surprised. I'm gonna say like 20, 30K first week probably. That's my prediction. And I'd mostly say that because she doesn't have that big of an international fan base to sell as many copies as someone like, well, yeah, Nicki Minaj. If I had to rate this album rollout, I'd probably give it a C+. It's not bad, but it's also not great. It definitely feels like the pregnancy announcement was the red button for this album rollout, which isn't a bad thing, but at the same time, if that's all you're bringing to the table, then this album's not gonna sell that well first week. If y'all think otherwise, I'd be happy to hear y'all out in the comments, but anyways. Can't believe how I'm falling. Somehow, girl, you wake me up. Falling. Usually I don't have a problem with how Chris Brown markets his albums because regardless of how he does it, I'm still gonna listen to it on day one. But something with Brown just doesn't sit right with me. Like all the singles he dropped for it were bangers, except for Obvious. I'm not a big fan of that one. But other than the singles and dropping the album cover and then dropping the track list, he really didn't do that much to market this album. And I get that he doesn't really need to market his albums like that to begin with these days. I mean, it's Chris Brown. Whenever he drops, it's gonna be a hit. But at the same time, it'd be nice if he marketed his albums like how he used to. Maybe not a press run for obvious reasons, but you get the point. Cause for the most part, all he did to market this album was announce a tour of Usher, which it's Chris Brown and Usher on the same tour in 2026. Those tickets are gonna be expensive as fuck. And to top it off, the album itself isn't even all that. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but at the same time, it's just not that great. Like, I've seen a lot of people try to defend this album and say that he's trying something new or that it's a more mature sound from him. Let me tell y'all niggas something. This is the same shit he did with Heartbreak on a Full Moon, Indigo, Breezy, and 1111. He's doing the same fucking formula with all these albums. And I'm not saying they're bad albums, but after a while you can definitely tell that he's doing the same shit in a different font. I am so sick of these big artists dropping these long ass albums knowing damn well their core fan base isn't gonna say shit, and they just don't listen to any outside source other than their core fan base as to how this album actually is. Like, no shit, your core fan base is gonna tell you this shit is good. That's their fucking job. But don't sit here and act like you just a fucking masterpiece knowing damn well this is the same fucking shit in a different fucking package. And I love Chris Brown, I truly do, but for the love of God, please start trying to make music again. Stop half-assing this shit. You're Chris Brown. You've never half-assed anything when it comes to performing, so why the fuck would you start half-assing it when it comes to making the goddamn music you dance to? The bulk of my problems with this album are strictly the music, but as for the marketing, he also half-assed that as well. So in terms of the marketing for this album, plus the actual quality of the album itself, I'm giving both a C. Hopefully he tries harder next time to make an album and also market said album, but you know what, I'm not gonna keep my hopes up. With those two examples out of the way, I want to get to another reason why I feel like album rollouts aren't as good as they used to be. Beyonce did it first. What? On December 13, 2013, Beyonce made history when she released her self-titled visual album at midnight with zero prior announcement, promotion, or lead singles. You see, the standard for dropping an album back then was you would drop on a Tuesday. Dropping an album on Friday was not a thing. Beyonce made it the standard. And then 2 years later in 2015, Drake did the same thing with If You're Reading This Is Too Late. Dropped it on streaming, no marketing whatsoever beforehand, just straight dropped it. And again, this was not a thing in rap music until Drake did it, because afterward, a lot of rappers started doing the same fucking shit, to varying success. See, surprise dropping is not something that every artist can do. Now, the bigger artists like Beyonce or Drake, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Future, they can do that and go #1. But if a smaller artist, say like Kid Laroi, were to do some shit like that, they would flop. And a lot of artists have gotten really comfortable with doing surprise drops with little to none marketing. And this is one of the main reasons why album rollouts aren't a thing anymore. Cause most of these artists will post a fucking track list and call it a day. Like, y'all are doing the bare fucking minimum. It's one thing when Kendrick does it because Kendrick is an established artist. Every time he drops, it's a fucking moment. But when a smaller artist posts some bullshit like that, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I don't know who you are. Or better yet, they'll drop 1 or 2 singles with little to none promotion and then drop the fucking album cover plus the track list as if niggas know who the fuck they are. Like, I'm sorry you think you're bigger than you actually are, but guess what, nigga? You're gonna fucking flop. So if any artists end up watching this video, please, for the love of God, actually market yourself, man. Tell us your story. Tell us who the fuck you are. Don't just drop a fucking single and call it a day. Don't just drop a fucking album cover plus the track list and call it a fucking day. Actually do something that will make you stand out. Use the resources at your disposal to make a name for yourself so that one day you can actually do a surprise drop and have it be a success. Cause you're not Drake and you're not Beyonce, so stop fucking acting like it.
Ha! Finally!
At the end of the day, the music industry needs to start investing in album rollouts again. Enough with the shock factor, enough with the drama, enough with the half-assery. Just stop it. Cause if I gotta watch one more artist drop a fucking track list and call it a fucking day, I might actually crash the fuck out. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Xavier Rants coming at you with Rants. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you want to put a comment, put it in the comment section. Follow me on TikTok, and everything else can be found at this link in the description. Other than that, adios.